Um, Hi, my name is Mika, and you're watching Black Girl with Glasses on YouTube. It's Saturday. I usually don't do a video this early, um, but I wanted to address something real quick because this is really bothering me. Um, I just got into it with a somewhat prominent journalist by the name of Septembre Anderson. She is an author, or a journalist rather, who lives in Ontario, and she does a lot of work on Black issues. And she also has a Facebook page. And so on this particular page, she talks about how Black people in the community do not have compassion for those celebrities, rather, struggling with mental illness. And she named Lil Kim, Lauren Hill, and Azalea Banks. Now, Azalea Banks is someone I have a huge problem with. She's very problematic. Not only that, but she uses white supremacy and uses a lot of political jargon to manipulate the Black community. She said that she has bipolar, but she's high functioning, which means that she has a wherewithal to know what she's doing. So whenever she's attacking someone online, or going off on a dark skinned person on the internet, or calling someone a transphobic or homophobic slur, she knows what she's doing. When she doesn't want to take responsibility, she uses white supremacy as an excuse. And that's what I was trying to tell Septembre on her Facebook page. That basically I had I stopped being a fan of hers when I realized that she was manipulating Black people, Black women in particular. And I remember one time when she was banned from Twitter because she went off on a 14-year-old Disney character named Sky Jackson. And this is not the first time she has said some things that were completely out of pocket. And so, of course, Miss Anderson, Septembre Anderson, was basically coming at me saying that I don't have compassion for people with mental illnesses unless they have, a certain personality, or they are or nice, or they're likable. And I was like, this has nothing to do with her being likable. It's her. I don't like her because um, she doesn't take responsibility for her shit. She does not take responsibility for her behavior towards other people. And there was way too many times when she calls someone the F word, or calls someone a racial slur, and then will basically say that, they try to steal from her, or they're trying to, you know, do something to her because she is a dark skinned woman. By the way, she's actually lightening her skin, so she's not even dark anymore. So, long story short, I must have hit a nerve because all of a sudden my resume, my education, my level of compassion, and my intelligence was called into question. And she actually had everyone else on her page come at me the same way, saying that my MSW, which is a Master's of Social Work, was a waste because I don't have compassion for people with bipolar, and that's not what I said. So I just want everyone to know that is not the case. I never said that I didn't have compassion for people with bipolar disorder or any sort of mental illness. I'm very aware of why people, Black folks in particular, do not like going to therapy. It's because we definitely count on our faith. We feel like a lot of folks feel like God would definitely take away their mental illness. There's also this labeling. They don't want to be labeled. A lot of us don't want to be labeled as crazy or labeled negatively and have that follow us. And there's also the fear of white therapists and being experimented on and having that information used against us. So it's like I know and I see it, but there's a difference between being afraid and being aware that you are sick and you're not trying to get help. Azalea Banks is not trying to get help. She knows what she's doing, and well-meaning Black folks are caping for her because she is a quote-unquote dark femme, and people are saying that she's being disposed of. This is my problem with the Black community is when it comes to mental illness. You don't have to take care of everybody. We don't have to take care of everybody. I don't have to agree with everyone. I don't have to support someone who doesn't try to get help. She's not trying to get help. And this is the issue I have, because when you, I feel like when you try to take care of yourself, especially if you yourself have a mental illness and you're Black, you're still under this obligation to take care of people who are extremely problematic. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it at all. I'm not trying to, because every time I did that, I was always burned and I was always burned out. And it really bothers me that when I disagree with someone, or I don't like what someone is saying or doing, and I defend myself, people use their social capital against me as if I've done something wrong, when in actuality, I'm telling the fucking truth. I don't have to cape for problematic people who use their mental illness as an excuse to fuck up. I don't have to, and I'm not going to. It's unhealthy. It's a detriment to the person who's sick. It's a detriment to people who have mental illness, knowing that they have mental illness, regardless of um, or regardless of whether they know the how sick they are. That's what I meant to say. Regardless of how they know how sick they are, they know they're sick to a degree. They're not trying to get help. I can see if they were, trying to get help, have Medicaid, could not get medication or anything. That's when I'm like, okay, I have compassion for those people because they are trying to get help. But when you have the capital and the means to get help and you're not trying to, I'm sorry. Like, I have no patience for someone like this, especially if they're using their social capital and their influence and social media to go off on people for no reason. Just because someone has a mental illness does not give them the right to go off. I have mental illness. I know people who have mental illness. They don't go on the fucking internet and go off like that. They don't go on the internet and support Trump and saying like things like, if you niggas need to do something different, vote for Trump. They don't go after dark skinned people and berate them on the internet for no reason. They don't use their Twitter account to go after a Middle Eastern British actor, British musician or rapper, and basically use a bunch of racial epithets. They don't go. Mentally ill people do not go on planes, accuse someone of spitting on them, and call them a faggot. They're not going to do that. Pardon, I'm basically telling the truth as far as how Azalea Banks acted towards people. So no, I am not going to support somebody who knows that they're doing wrong and they're not trying to. Now, journalists and bloggers want to unfriend me, unfollow me, not pay attention to me, you go ahead. But it makes no sense for me to do what I'm doing if I can't tell the truth. It doesn't make any sense for me to just sit here and agree with everything someone with social capital says simply because it's them. Y'all can be wrong too. I can be wrong too, but I'll be fucking damned if someone's going to sit here and belittle my education and belittle my level of experience and level of compassion if they don't know me. They don't, like, I'm not going to sit there and have that happen. So Septembre can kiss my ass. Septembre can go on about her business. Any other blogger who has a problem with me, fuck y'all too. Because I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to sit here and lie to be liked. I don't want people to up and like me and agree with me all day, every day. If I'm wrong, please tell me. But don't sit here and berate my everything I worked for simply because I'm not trying to support someone who is problematic. I'm not trying to support someone with mental illness, but then turn around and do something that will hurt someone else. This is my issue with a lot of Black folks in our community. We would sit here and support. We will sit here and support those who hurt us, But we won't support victims. We won't support the people who are attacked by these people. We'll sit here and cape and apologize and defend shitty ass behavior simply because they're black, and that has to end. Y'all know full fucking well that if Azalea Banks were white, y'all be the first ones to call her all kinds of shit. Y'all be the first ones to say exactly what I'm saying. That her mental illness does not give her the right or the privilege to go off on somebody like this. But because she's black and because she's a woman, all of a sudden she's excused, and I'm not having it. So again, fuck y'all, fuck September, and anyone else who berates me for telling the truth and berates me for having my own opinion and using their social capital to attack me. Y'all gonna get it. You're going to get it because I'm going to speak up as much as I can. And I'm not the only one who feels that way about Azalea Banks, and I'm not the only one who feels the way I do about Nate Parker. I am not the only one who feels that problematic black folks are a detriment to our mental health, our emotional health, and are a detriment to having a healthy community. I'm not the only one, and I'm not the only one who's going to speak up about it either. So on that note, again, fuck Septembre Anderson. I don't need your bullshit. I don't need it. So on that note, that's all I need to say. I need to vent. I need to get that out. If anyone has something to say, y'all need to just say it. But I'm still going to be out here telling the truth. I'm still going to be out here doing what I'm doing. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I have to support every single one. That's not possible. So on that note, tune in on Tuesday. I am going to have a guest on the show, a young man by the name of Azalea Parker, who's a really good friend of mine. He's going to be talking about his business and what prompted him to basically do what he's doing with physical fitness. So again, if you want to follow me, you can watch, every sort of all kinds of videos on YouTube, on the Black Girl with Glasses YouTube page. There's also the Facebook page, Twitter, and WordPress, and also Pinterest. I just started that not too long ago. So on that note, I apologize for venting this Saturday morning. I'm usually not like this, but I needed to talk because I know that I just needed to. So on that note, you have a good day, and love, peace, and fake chicken grease.